One of the absolute best things you can do for your small business when it comes to the finances is to create a cash flow forecast. Cash is the lifeblood of a small business, and being able to look ahead and forecast what your cash is going to do in your business is an exercise that every single business owner should be doing and should be comfortable with. I want to make this easy for you guys, so I've actually created a great spreadsheet that is absolutely free. I will link it down below. I'm going to show it to you guys. Because building it, then you don't have to worry about that. You can just plug in your numbers and you can create this cash flow forecast for yourself. So I want to show you guys, this video is all about showing you things you need to think about when you're building cash flow forecast. I'm going to show you how to do it using this spreadsheet, and I'm going to be kind of giving you some tips along the way as well. Definitely stay tuned for the whole video because we've got tips kind of like dripped throughout everything, and then it is going to be a little bit longer. You can save it, rewatch it as you're building your own cash flow forecast. Really though, this is probably what I would say is just the most critical task you could be doing in your business. Reviewing your financials is really high up there, but reviewing your financials should be leading to, okay, now we update the cash flow forecast. And your cash flow forecast should be something that you are looking at potentially weekly or at least on a monthly basis, because you always need to be thinking about, what is the cash doing in my business? Do I have enough? Do I need to be doing something to generate more cash? Okay, so it is a wonderful decision-making tool as well. You could plug in different scenarios. What if you purchased inventory in this month versus this month? What if you hired an employee at this date versus this date? All of that kind of stuff can go directly into your cash flow forecast, and I'm going to show you some examples of that. If that sounds good, stay tuned. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you here. And without further ado, let's get into the screen share of our cash flow forecast worksheet. First thing we're going to do here is I'm just going to give you a high level of this spreadsheet that you will be able to use for yourself. So this is the template. It's structured to where it has income sources up here and then expenses out. So these two sections are really basically your profit and loss right here, okay? Your profit and loss statement, if you're a cash basis business, and most of us as small businesses are, but cash in, cash out, this is a really basic, the first parts that you're going to find. So when we look back historically, we'll be able to find these numbers on our profit and loss statement. Okay, and then there's other things that also affect cash in and cash out. And these are oftentimes things that we find on the balance sheet. So the really beautiful thing about a cash flow forecast is it combines the activity that's happening on the profit and loss and the activity that's happening in the movement that's happening on the balance sheet. So for example, if you pay off a loan, you don't see that at all except for a little bit of interest expense on your P&L, or your profit and loss. But you would see maybe it was $1,000 and you had $50 of interest. The $1,000 definitely affects your cash flow, but it's not going to show up in your profit and loss. So you can't just look at your net income and think that's how much cash I have, because you could be doing things on the balance sheet that could also be eating up your cash, especially if you are taking an owner's draw or you're buying inventory. There's lots of potential things here that could be playing into the cash in and cash out. So just to give you some examples, and I've given you some space to add other things that you might have, but for example, cash out could be credit card payments, owner's draws. We talked about equity in a previous video, loan repayments, like I mentioned, and just moving money out to different savings accounts. So I recommend looking at the cash flow forecast based on the amount of cash that you have in an operating account, something that you actually want to be able to use that cash. So let's say you have a tax savings account that's on the side, and you can't touch that because that's going to pay taxes. Don't include that in your cash flow forecast. If it's savings and you don't want to touch it and you don't want to use it for operations, put it to the side, okay? And don't include that total. So I can kind of just show you how this works, the way, just really functionally. So you go to the cash at the beginning of the period, and we're just going to start in January. And I'm just going to say we have $10,000. If you are seeing this video, which you will be seeing this video later, you can just put the number in. Let's say if we're doing this in May, you can just plug the number into the May forecast and it will read the formula just fine. And then you can just hide the columns. You do that by selecting your columns, right-clicking, and just hide, which would look like that. And then if you want to unhide, you select columns and you unhide. And then you put your cash in. So let's say you're expecting, $5,000 of a revenue stream 1 and $2,000 of revenue stream 2. And then you can go through and just fill out the expenses of what you put in here. I'm just going to show you how the spreadsheet works. So you'll see this is summing the things above, this is summing the things above, and then same down here, cash out, and then cash received. So you put everything in positives, and the formulas are going to do the work for us so that you don't have to think, okay, cash out is negative or cash in is positive. You just put everything in as its absolute value, which is without the negatives, and then the spreadsheet will take care of it for you. Just make sure you get things in the right place. Is it really cash out or is it cash in? Okay? And then you can customize this. If you need to add lines, you can just right click and insert above, and it will include it in the formula. What you don't want to do is add a row right above the total, because then it will not include the sum. So that's just a little Excel trick that you need to be aware of. Or if you're Excel savvy, you could fix it, but I highly recommend not messing with that piece. If you need to add formulas, just add it in between and that sum will be included. Because if you see here, all of this is included even though I added a row. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to actually go in and show you that I have built a cash flow forecast, and I will walk you through this. So what I did is I actually pulled from the sample company in QuickBooks Online. I pulled a profit and loss statement because what I wanted to do is I wanted to say, okay, let's validate my thinking on the cash flow. Like, what are the things I need to be thinking about? And so the profit and loss, because it's a cash basis company, gives us a lot of good information. It shows us the income, it shows us all the expenses, and then I can go and look at the balance sheet and see if there's any movement in the balance sheet. Maybe there's a loan to be repaid, or maybe there's a regular owner's draw I need to think of. And what I can do is I can validate that my cash flow, I'm including all the things that I should be thinking about in my cash flow. All the revenue line items that I should be thinking about, all the cash out items I should be thinking about, whether or not there's any credit card payments or loan payments. If I look at my actual data, I can see, okay, what's moving in and out. And then what you do, and you can validate that. So you can say cash at the beginning of the period was 4179. And then you can look and say, okay, after I enter in everything that I know moved during the month, now where is my cash? And then you can go and look at the balance sheet at the end of the month and see, how close were you? Were you able to read everything and get everything into the cash flow forecast? If so, then you're good to go. If not, you need to go and maybe look at the statement of cash flows, maybe look and see what you might be missing, or do a comparison balance sheet between the previous month and this month that we're looking at and see if there's any movement between those accounts. I like to get not super granular here. So when I actually did this, the P&L had lots of different accounts. So you can use the feature to collapse to kind of give high level categories rather than, putting, if you have, potentially 50 line items on your P&L, you don't want to have to put each one of those line items on your cash flow. That'll get really tedious and it's really hard to manage. So you kind of want to give summaries here. And the other thing with the cash flow is it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to estimate your exact amount of dollars, 6 months into the future. What you want to get here is you want to get good estimates. You want to get directionally pretty close so that if you're off on your revenue by $10,000, you can adjust and what else you need to be doing to lower your other costs in your business. If your revenue isn't as high as it needs to, it's going to affect your cash flow. So what you want to do here is you want to put in estimates, okay? And most of you hopefully have a budget. Actually, I know a lot of you don't have a budget. That's okay. You can use this as a way to, well, it's not okay. I'm going to take that back. I want you to have a budget, but you can use this to kind of build a budget for yourself. So you can say, okay, in the month of May, I know that we made $4,000. All right, well, maybe this is our high season. So I know that in June, it's actually going to be, almost double that. And then maybe June, July, August are all going to be really good. And then maybe it starts to go back down. And then it gets really tough, let's say during October November, and December. Okay. And so you can see, like, if only we were making money and we weren't spending money, we would be just accumulating cash. You can see the cash at the beginning of the period up here is almost $35,000. But we all know that that's not how business works. You have to spend money to make money. So then we can go down here and start to build out like cost of goods sold and other line items here. So we're gonna say, let's say insurance is like a one-time thing. You don't have to pay that every month. And let's say rent is the same amount every single month. Let's say utilities is actually pretty much the same every single month. Let's give ourselves a budget of $20 every month for meals, since we only spent $10 last month. Office expenses, we like to give ourselves $25. This is just based on like what you think will happen in the business. You need to put regular estimated expenses here. Let's give cost of goods sold as actually like a percentage. Let's make that a percentage of sales up here. Maybe a little bit closer to, let's make it a something. This is not very big, but I'm just going to make that a percentage of sales. So that way, if our forecast changes and we think sales are going to be higher, because we're going to keep updating this forecast. So if you build in percentages, then if you change the forecast in the future, it will also change the other numbers that are dependent on that cell. Like we said, insurance is like a one-time thing during the year. Professional fees, let's say this is like the bookkeeper or something, that's going to be the same throughout the year. Job expenses, we're gonna say we average like $750, might be a little low. Maybe we realize we need to save some money. Let's just make this super easy and drag a lot of these expenses across, okay? So this will show you, let's say on average, they're spending, besides this one-time annual insurance payment, they're spending about $3,300 a month. Now, we know that probably labor costs would go up if your revenue is going up and things like that, but I'm trying to not get too complicated on this for you. But you just kind of want to think through every single line item and project out what you think it could be. And then this is really helpful if you say, okay, maybe this is just an individual right now. He's completely running the business on his own. This is actually information coming in from a landscaping company. So let's say that this person's name is Craig. Let's say that he has never had employees before, but he's like, yeah, it's getting busy during the summer. I need to hire some labor. Then you can go in here and say, okay, well, how much labor can we afford? Maybe it's $2,000. Maybe it's $2,000, but we're only going to have those people through the summer months. And then we're going to typically make payroll taxes about 10% of payroll, just to make it easy here. But let's just say we hired some labor for the season of the summer, and then that was just a seasonal worker, so we won't have that payroll for the rest of the year. Okay, so you can see that our operating expenses are going up. And then this is where you can look and say, okay, what other kind of things do we have? Maybe there's this loan that needs to happen every single month for $200. And let's just put in a $500 owner's draw to see what that does. We don't have any other, we're not taking in any other loans in this base scenario, but let's look at what we've got here. So May is not looking so good. The changes in cash is actually out almost $1,800. They're making a little bit of cash, like a little bit of cash, like staying in the business for 3 months during their busy season. And then once that employee is gone, a little bit more is staying in the business. But that's good because then October, November, and December are looking in the red. So we kind of build up a little cash in September, but then we're kind of starting to eat through it by the end of the year. Okay, and I have this item down here that says don't let cash go below a certain number, and this is a formula, so these numbers down here at the bottom will turn red if the number is below whatever number you type in here. So if I put 2,000 in for this business, basically if $2,000 is his comfort level in his bank account, he's fine because he actually never goes under $2,000 in this cash flow forecast. Now, remember too that this is looking at the month as a whole. So you might run into timing issues if you haven't been paid by your customers, but then you have payroll and then you have, rent due, and then you have your credit card payment all hitting at the same time. So this is not going to help you if you're really, really tight on cash. And it will help you, but you have to look at the month as a whole. So you might want to leave this cash, so you don't run into situations that, having all three of those things happen at one time puts you in a bad place. You might want to think about making this cash minimum higher so that you can cover and float some of those times when you've got lots of things draining on your cash at the same time. Now, you can also turn this into a weekly, which really all you would need to do is just, put in a week here up at the top instead of months, and then just run out the whole week. So you could definitely do that. That's kind of if you really need to manage cash really, really tightly, you do a weekly. But if you have ample cash and you just know that the month needs to work, then you can use the monthly forecast. And I like this for businesses, like when we have a good ample cash balance, just kind of buffer there. We know we're not gonna, one payroll is not gonna throw us off in any kind of way. So this business is kind of in a little bit of a different situation. So, in this case, this business might need to, towards the end of the year, maybe we can't do like an owner's draw, for example, at the end of the year, which is not what we would want, but maybe we'd look at how do we cut job supplies or how do we cut something else so that we can, afford to pay the owner. So what this will do is it will help us understand what do we expect cash will be at some period of time in the future. When we plug all these numbers in, it's going to help us see how are we doing? What decisions can we make? Do we need to borrow? Like maybe this is a business that needs an infusion of cash. And if so, then maybe we borrow, let's say in August, maybe it's a $10,000 loan. And maybe we borrow money so that we can invest in marketing, or maybe we can invest in more people because we have more work to do. We just don't have enough people to do it. So you could potentially put in some of these scenarios and say, okay, what if this, what if that? If I borrow $10,000, could I then go up here and actually extend my labor, all the way until November? And what that might do is it actually might help me. Sorry, you guys, my mouse is not working, so I'm doing everything on my computer. So it might help us make more money by doing that. So you can put in these scenarios and then you can say, okay, what did it look like before? And actually maybe borrowing money is the absolute right thing to do. And then when you're ready to start repaying it, maybe you start repaying it, potentially at the end of the year. So, all of these things can be put into the scenario when you just think through, okay, when would that number actually hit the financials, or when would that cash actually leave the business? And you just put it into the spreadsheet, and then the spreadsheet tells you what's going on. That's why I love cash flow forecasting. It is a great tool to help you make better decisions in your business and also help you avoid those cash crunch times. Because if you know 3 months ahead of time that you're going to have a cash problem, you can do something about it now, rather than getting to the point where you're like, how did I get here? I don't have any money. And then you're trying to panic and go and get a loan that might be at a really high interest rate or something like that. So I love this for all small business owners. So definitely grab my download. I will put the URL right in the description box, and I'll try to put it here on the screen as well, so you can grab that. My free gift to you, check it out. And then in this template too, you'll also be able to, I've got some notes for using it and also the video instructions. I have another video that I did a long time ago, and then this is kind of the update to that. All right, well, everyone, thank you for being here. If you have any questions about cash flow forecasting, please do let me know in the comment section below. I would be happy to try to answer those for you. And if we need to do some more videos on cash flow forecasting, I'm happy to do it. Obviously, I'm passionate about it, and I think it's a great exercise, but I've already said that. All right, bye everybody. Thank you.